We're gathered today in church for our time together of sharing, and we're gathered around God's world. Now, I know you know this, and remember, even though we have our picture of God's world here, is it just here in church? No, it's not. Where's God's world? It's everywhere we go. It's a big world out there, and we have to remember to pay attention to that world and notice things and look very, very carefully. In fact, this is a piece of paper that's in our church that talks about what church is and what LCPC, the work of LCPC. And right here, one of the last thing it says that we do together is we see God. That got me to thinking about today's Bible story. And it's two of Jesus's friends. Now remember, Jesus has left his friends. He's had his time, did his teaching, all his ministry and healing. We had the sad crucifixion, but it wasn't sad for long because in God's powerful love, Jesus was resurrected and came back and continued with his friends, and his friends learned from him. And now the friends, Peter and John, are out doing the work that Jesus taught them to do. And they come to a man who is crippled, his legs don't work, and he's sitting on the corner begging. And Peter looks at him and says, "Look at me." And the man looks up and notices. And at that moment, there's a recognition, and they're seeing each other, and maybe seeing God's love and God's power at the same time. And then that's where the miracle begins. But I want to talk about looking at things and really noticing all the things in God's world. And we have a reminder of that in your coloring pages that I sent home to you of how to really look carefully, and this is some practice that you can do as you go about working on these pages, and noticing all the small things in the picture. In fact, when I first looked at this, the thing down in the bottom right here was a little person that I noticed. And I colored it in so you could see that even a small thing can be something really big and important, like that person right there. You know, we have to learn to look with new eyes, things big and small. And that's something you can do at home, and you can practice with each other. You can practice noticing the feelings of your brothers and sisters and your mom and dad. You can notice God's changing world outside and how the smallest thing might make a difference. It's kind of fun if you get to thinking about it, and when we start to realize when we see things a little bit differently, maybe we can begin to see God's world in a new way too. And that's when we learn, and that's where our faith gets to practice, and that's when we get to share and be reminded of our story and all the wonder and love that's in God's world. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next week. Have fun on your coloring pages.